Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and this podcast is dedicated to all the amazing athletes of female bodybuilding. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the FBB Forum YouTube and Instagram pages. I'm very pleased to welcome the beautiful IFBB Pro figure athlete Trisha Fladten to the podcast. Trisha earned her pro card at the 2023 USA Championships and really looked amazing there. Trisha has her own coaching business and she has 5 kids. She's an amazing muscle mama. Stay tuned, stay tuned to find out where she will compete next and where she's going to make her pro debut, which is coming soon. Welcome, Trisha. It's really great to have you here. It's nice to
Thanks for
get to
having
see
me.
you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So my first few questions are about how'd you get started in bodybuilding? Did you have a athletic or a sports background before you started competing?
I had always kind of been into sports growing up, and then I lifted weights in high school, really fell in love with it. Always had kind of that athletic build, so I just, enjoyed that and kind of embracing that figure of myself. And then my late husband, actually, he was into bodybuilding and he wanted to compete and he never got to before he passed. And so I kind of always wanted to. It was always in the back of my head. And then a friend of mine came around in 2021 and said she wanted to as well. So we found a local coach and then we just kind of went head first into it.
That's terrific. That's very
Mhm.
cool. I'm sorry about your late husband though.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Um, Now in terms of I was curious like what kind of sports did you do before?
I did soccer and track. And again, weightlifting was like my thing. I kind of maxed out and was on all the charts and all that for being strong, I guess.
That's awesome. That's very cool. That's very cool.
hmm
Yeah. Now in terms of how long have you competed in bodybuilding competitions and who convinced you to do your first contest?
So that was 2021. August 2021 is when I first did my show,
Okay.
and nobody convinced me. I definitely it was something I wanted to do myself, and I loved it.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah. Was it tough for you to get up on stage in a bikini for the first time? Was it kind of a little
Oh
nervous?
yeah. So well, I'm super shy and I'm super introvert. I'm like an extroverted introvert is what I call myself, and so my family always laughs at me. They're like, "How did you end up here out of everything?" Right? Like getting on stage because it's just not me. But I think what I love so much about it is I put the work in, right? Like I'm given the tools by my coach, but I put that work in. And so whatever I present on stage, it's solely me and it's due to what I did or didn't do. And so it's just really rewarding kind of showing off all of that and you know, kind of displaying all the hard work for however many weeks.
That's terrific. That's great. Did you start off with in figure for
Yep.
your first contest?
Yep.
Oh, terrific. That's great. Yeah. I was curious, have you ever considered ditching the heels and doing women's physique or women's bodybuilding?
Yeah, so my coach now, Corey, we had kind of played around with that idea. Um, and I really liked the posing of it and all of that, but I think we kind of both decided that I was more comfortable in figure for now.
Okay.
And then kind of see where things go. I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, just kind of staying where I'm comfortable and all that for now.
I understand. Yeah. On your Instagram page, there's a few women's physique poses I noticed.
Yep.
Yeah, which is cool. Yeah.
I know. I think it's so beautiful. I love watching all of them. So
I like the posing routine's great because you get to show some creativity and
yes,
kind of
just
original.
so yeah, so graceful.
It is. Yeah, definitely. I
Mhm.
like that. I think it's neat to watch.
Yep.
Now, so you've always competed in figure division, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. And you got your pro card at 2023 in the USA's in Las
I did.
Vegas, is that right?
Yep.
I bet that was a real thrill for you. What was your experience like at the USA's?
Oh my gosh, it was all the girls were amazing backstage, and I was just, you kind of you go into it knowing that everybody's gonna look amazing, right? But you don't realize how amazing everybody's gonna look, and everybody just, I'm pretty sure some of the girls probably thought it was creepy because I was just like in awe, and I was telling everybody how beautiful they were, and I'm all about the experience, and like I still have friends from that show that we talk all the time, and we encourage each other through all of our preps and all that. but the girls were amazing and looked so beautiful, and it was just so much fun. That was the best show I think I've ever been to.
That's terrific. That's so
Hmm.
cool. Yeah. How
Yeah.
many, I was curious how many shows had you done prior to that?
So actually, let's see, 2020, I think
Three. Oh,
two or three.
wow.
Well, two NPC, one NABF.
ABF?
Yes, it's a different organization.
Oh, for like a bodybuilding accrediting
Hmm.
agency?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So a baby to the world for sure.
Wow, that's so cool though. That must have been a thrill for you to get that pro card though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just doesn't feel real. So it still feels kind of like a dream. Like, that's our goal, is to get, like, that's just, you want that. And it's just, you get it and you're like, this can't be real. Like, me? No. So
Yeah,
it's amazing, honestly. I feel super, honored by having this title.
that's awesome. Yeah, you mentioned before we start recording, you almost have like an imposter syndrome.
Yes. Like, I feel I don't deserve it. I'm like, I haven't been competing long enough, kind of thing. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I got you. I understand that. No, but you definitely belong up on stage. You really look great. So yeah,
Thanks. I appreciate it.
yeah, you're welcome. I was curious, so you took 2024 off.
I did. Yep.
Did you use that kind of time to grow and stuff, do you think? Or
Grow and kind of be with family and just kind of get healthy, and um I'd never really taken a long off season, and so I think it was nice mentally and physically on me for sure.
oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet it
Hmm.
was. Yeah, and the women I've met who take the year off, come back better than ever, so it's
Yeah.
probably good for you.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Now, I was curious, how tall are you? And I was curious, what was your stage weight at 2023 USA's?
I didn't, we don't weigh and figure, but I'm pretty sure I was low 120s, if not lower. 5'2",
Oh, you're only
which I
five
used to
two.
be. I know, I used to be 5'3", and then I'm like 5'2" now. Like, well, how does that happen?
No, I thought you were taller than that based on the pictures.
I know, that's what everybody says. No, I'm short, so,
Wow.
yeah.
How much does the heels add to you?
I think they're like 5 inches or something, 5-inch heels.
Wow.
I know, and I
Wow.
don't wear heels, so I'm like, somehow I can walk in them. I don't know how I can manage it, but somehow I do.
Do you have to do a lot of posing practice?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I need to do more. Obviously, that's really kind of what you present is what they see, and so I need to be better about it.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's tough
Mhm.
with those heels too. That's tough to walk on. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I always thought it was tough with figure because you have to wear those heels and then you have to, you're flexing your legs, and it's like, God,
Yep.
it seems like it would be not comfortable at all. It just doesn't look
Mhm.
fun.
No, but that's when you know you're doing it right, is if it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you get like cramps and stuff, just
Oh,
wouldn't.
that does suck when that happens, yep.
Yeah. Now we talked about it before recording, but where do you hope to compete next?
Um, so right now it's looking like Oklahoma Pro.
Great.
Um, it was gonna either be that or Charlotte Pro. I haven't completely decided, but I'm leaning more toward Oklahoma only because I live in Kansas City, Missouri, so it's about 3.5 hours from us, and so we can kind of drive there. My boys want to go, so it would just kind of be easier on everything.
That'd be great. Yeah, it'd be good to
Yeah.
have your family there to yell for you and root for
Oh,
you.
for sure. My boys want to be there, so.
That's terrific. That's so cool. Yeah. Um, and are they supportive of your bodybuilding efforts?
Oh, they love it. They think it's so cool. When I got my pro card, my son was like, well, now I have to start working out. I can't have a professional bodybuilder mom and look like this. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
He tells all his friends that I'm a professional bodybuilder. So,
Oh, that's sweet though. That's really cool. Yeah.
mhm.
He's
Yeah.
very proud of you, I bet.
Yep. He is.
That's terrific. That's so cool. Yeah. Um, Now, I was curious, did the USA judges give you any feedback on where you needed to improve your physique or your presentation?
Unfortunately, I never got that. I had emailed them. I was supposed to stay after. I think I had lost translation. I missed that part of the athletes meeting.
Hmm.
Um, and I should have gotten clarification. It was my fault. So,
Okay.
yeah, I missed out on that. But I kind of knew what I needed. I mean, you could look at me and see kind of where the areas needed to be brought up. So, um, Yeah, that's just kind of what we were working on through the off season.
That's very cool. Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have a great look to you and good, V taper, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Um, I was curious, what do you think is your best muscle group and what do you think muscle group do you think needs the most improvement on your physique?
I'll always say that my back needs the most improvement. I need more width is what I would think.
Hmm.
My quads are probably the best of my, I mean, those could grow too. Everything I think could grow, but um, that's just me being critical of myself. My
Yeah,
coach is he's pretty confident in me and he feels pretty good about what we're bringing. So,
that's great. Yeah.
mhm.
Is the what do you feel like you improve those body parts in terms of the taking the year off, make them bigger?
I think I did. Probably not as much as had anticipated in my mind. I mean, I know obviously it's very hard to put on muscle. It takes time. But I guess, you have like this hope for what you can do, and I think I did good. I'm going to be more critical on myself than anybody else, and I'll say I think I should have done better. So,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
mhm,
No, that's very cool. I think, yeah, you look great though. I think you're going to do great
thank
at
you.
Oklahoma or Charlotte. Yeah, Oklahoma would be nice just because that way you could drive there and,
Right,
you wouldn't have
absolutely.
to fly. Because I think flying is kind of tough when you're a bodybuilder. And
It is all the food and everything.
I've heard just trying to get protein powder through
Yeah,
the T or
you gotta
TSA.
test it. Yeah, glutamine, creatine, they gotta test all that.
Make sure you're not bringing cocaine or something in
Yeah.
there. Um, I was curious, what advice do you think could you give to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card? I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but anything else that you could advise?
Just stick to it. Keep through the hard times. It's like a roller coaster. You got to ride the highs, ride the lows, and just look at the end goal and shut out the noise around you. It
Yeah, that's
gets,
good.
and it can, and unfortunately, it can get lonely sometimes because people don't really understand it that are on the outside, and you just got to kind of accept that for what it is and
Mhm.
embrace the goals that you have for yourself. And you got one life to live.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard from ladies who say, you keep the really close core of friends, but acquaintances will kind of go away, because
Yeah,
they get irritated with you for not going out for a drink
right.
or whatever.
Oh, you can just have a bite. No, I'm okay. And I'll tell people I'm okay. Like I don't want it, but they still like it's so funny to me how, drinking and like eating a brownie is so normalized, but me eating my potatoes and my chicken is a diet. And I'm like, no, this is food. Like I'm fueling my body.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really bringing you toward your goals too, whereas
Right.
a brownie can mess you up, kind of.
As
But
much as
it's
I want one.
oh yeah, I bet now that you're prepping, I bet you're like,
Oh
brownie.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I bet that's tough with your boys too, because you got to feed them and do you cook for them and stuff too?
I do. I'm used to it at this point. Oddly enough, when I'm in prep, I like to cook and bake a lot more, and I don't know if it's just, like, to keep me busy, keep my mind off of, like, wanting to eat it or smelling it, I don't know, but it brings me joy, and so, there was one year where I had done kind of back-to-back shows, so I was in prep for quite a while, and so when I got out of prep, the boys were like, "Oh, man, mom's not gonna be baking anymore," because I had all these things that I'd bake or I'd buy at the store, and my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, stop buying this stuff."
I got you. Yeah, I would think that would be tough, the
It's
temptation
it's
just.
so weird, like, I'll smell things, and then I've noticed, like, my twins, they'll start to smell things, so I'm like, "No, no, you eat it, don't be like me."
Oh yeah. Actually eat the food. Yeah, you're
Yes, you can eat it.
right. Yeah, no, you have to just deal with smells. You yourself do, yeah.
Yep, mhm.
Um, Now I was curious, do you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding? And I know you have the coaching business, but do you have another like full-time 9 to 5 type thing?
No, not 9 to 5, I'm a personal trainer, so my hours are all over. I work in the mornings, I'll get up early before the kids are up, go train a couple clients, come home, get the kids to school, go back, train some more, then I train myself, then I train some more clients, get the kids, take them home, go back, train more clients.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you do them all, meet all your clients in person? Oh,
Yep.
you do? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, I have online and in person.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And are you working with bodybuilding and lifestyle clients?
Yep.
All right. Oh, very cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I was curious if there's any bodybuilding clients you'd like to shout out.
Well, the one that I just recently had, she won the 2 shows she did last year. She won her classes and the overalls at both, and she was
Oh,
figures. So it's
nice.
pretty exciting. It was her NPC debut too. So her name's Shelby, and she did really well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, terrific. That's
Mhm.
great.
Yep.
Yeah. I bet you were thrilled for her.
I was like, I think I was more nervous for her to get on stage than I've ever been for myself. Like I was shaking, my heart's racing, and it was quite the experience. It was fun.
That's awesome. That's so
Hmm.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations. Is she gonna
Thanks.
do a pro qualifier?
She's actually gonna take the year off and grow, so we're working on that right now. And then
Cool.
I have another girl who she wants to do a show. Her name's Carly. She wants to do one in I think it's May or June. I could be wrong. I have prep brain right now, so hopefully she forgives me if she watches this. But
Oh, no. No
she
worries.
wants to do her first show, and she's like gonna kill it. She's just on it. She checks off all the boxes, and she's amazing.
That's terrific. Sounds great. Yeah, sounds like some good clients you got there for sure.
Oh, I love all my clients. I don't have any that I don't like, and I got really, really lucky. I don't know how, but I've never had a client that I just don't like.
That's terrific. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, Now, your husband, is he a bodybuilder too? And is he supportive of your bodybuilding efforts?
He's not a bodybuilder, but he's very, very supportive. Very
Perfect.
supportive. Yep. I sometimes I'm like, I don't deserve you. You're just too good. Because, it's like you get those days, and I've had them a lot lately, where I'm just not sleeping the leaner I get. So I'm just so exhausted. And what he doesn't miss a beat. He picks up, he'll do the laundry, he'll clean, he'll cook, take care of the kids. I mean, I don't even have to say anything, and he just does it. He's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
terrific. Does he come to your shows too to yell
Oh,
for
yeah,
you?
he's been at every single one of them.
That's terrific. Yeah, that's so cool. That's great to have that kind of support for sure.
Oh, it is. It's so helpful, and he loves it. He thinks it's really admirable, and he likes that, I'm showing the kids, you can kinda set these goals for yourself and accomplish them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, that's terrific. That's great that he's supportive of you. And I think having, the 5 kids and having that help with the kids, I think that's a huge makes a huge
Oh,
difference.
yes,
And
huge.
and you said in terms of your kids, what are their ages again?
So my oldest is 15, he'll be 16 this fall, and then I have my stepson who is 14, and then my other son who's 12, about to be 13 this month, and then my 6-year-old twins.
Oh, so your older kids can help with the younger ones too. That's kind of
They
nice.
do. They're pretty good about it too. My oldest in one of my preps, if I ever would come home I would do my lift, do my cardio, come home, and then I would finish out my cardio at home. And if I was sitting down, he's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just taking a minute." And he's like, "Go finish cardio. I'll watch the twins. You go."
Nice.
Okay.
That's so sweet. Yeah.
Or I'm gonna tell your coach. I'm like, "Oh man,
I see.
yeah, that's what I
Uh-huh.
get to deal with."
That's awesome though that he's helping out. And are all 5 of them are boys?
No, 4 of them are boys and one's a little girl.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so she wants to be strong like mommy, and if she ever sees me working out, she wants to work out too, so.
Oh, yeah. That's terrific. Wow. That's so
Mhm,
cool.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah, especially having twins. I mean, that's kind of tough too, but yeah, but you know,
Yeah,
they kind of look out for each other too. So
not really, no, they're pretty mean to each other.
well, maybe
Yeah,
when they're adults, maybe.
maybe, I don't know.
Oh man. So you said you live in Kansas City, Missouri
I
area, right?
do. Yep.
And I was curious, would you say there's a kind of a thriving bodybuilding community there? I do know a few bodybuilders that live there.
I mean, I think once you're in the community, you tend to kind of find them a little bit more, so it seems big, but it's probably really not, but, I mean, the ones that are in the area, yeah, you know them, and it's great. I mean, There's a gym and it's called Flex Fitness, and that's where a lot of bodybuilders go. There's one called Beastified, and I'm pretty sure an IFBB Pro owns that because Flex is owned by Jason May. He's an IFBB Pro as well.
Okay.
Um, so those gyms are pretty well known in the area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. I've heard
yeah,
of
it's cool.
Flex. I've heard of. Yeah, that sounds like a good gym.
Oh, it is. He's got so much amazing equipment.
Really? Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Do y'all ever see the Chiefs players at the gym? I was curious. Are they
No,
ever
I
lifted?
don't. No, the guy that used to do body work on me, he does body work for the Chiefs full time now. So that was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl this year, but it didn't wasn't in the cards. No.
No, not at all. I stopped watching at like halftime. I was like, ooh, painful.
That was a tough game, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing seeing the Chiefs do so well. They're
Yeah.
definitely a great team. Um, now, I was curious in terms of your kids, do you think any of them would consider doing bodybuilding in the future?
It's hard to say. I don't think any of my older ones would. I think if anybody would, it might be my one of the twins.
Okay.
You know, my daughter, I'll turn the Olympia on when it's on and she'll just watch in awe. But then my son, he'll kind of do the posing too. So I don't
Mhm.
know. I'll be interested to see if any of them kind of follow in that.
That'd be cool if they follow your
Mhm.
footsteps. That'd be
It
neat.
would,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. And I was curious, are your parents still alive?
Yep.
What are your parents and if you have siblings, what do they think about your bodybuilding career?
They usually come to all my shows too and support it. My dad and my mom are always there. My sister, she tries to come to them. She was at my last one. I think she's gonna come to this one too. My brother, who's like my best friend, his name's Kevin. He tries to come to all of them too, and he's my biggest supporter of them all. But yeah,
Wow,
yep, they
that's
love it.
perfect. That's
Hmm.
great. I'd love to hear that because I've heard sometimes from bodybuilders whose families are not supportive,
Yeah.
don't
Oh yeah.
understand.
Yep.
Um,
I got lucky.
I think that's terrific. Yeah, you have a very supportive family, it sounds like. So
Oh, I
that's
do. Yeah.
awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah. Are they understanding when holidays come around? Like, no, I can't eat the pie or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like the only time that I've ever been in a prep around a holiday time would be July 4th, and that's there was
Mhm.
one year I just didn't go because I'm like, I just can't. I can't do it. And they were understanding. They knew I was way too close to showtime. So.
Yeah, I gotcha. That
Hmm.
would be tough. But July 4th, that's not a bad one, but like Thanksgiving or Christmas, that'd be
See,
tough.
that's why I try to avoid prep at that time because I love Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween. So I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. And by that time, most of the shows are over anyway, so
yeah, it's like right at the end of the year. Yeah.
not a big deal. So yeah. Now, I have a few questions about prep and coaching. I saw you're working with Corey at Cobra Bodies,
Yes.
and I've interviewed some of his athletes.
Have you?
Um, I was curious, how long have you worked with him, and what would you say makes him a good coach?
So I got with him at the end of March of 2024.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, I love everything about him. He communicates immediately. He doesn't get bothered. I ask a lot of questions. I'm military, so I'm very detailed oriented. And I want to be told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, like everything, and I will follow it to the T.
Okay.
He will answer all my questions. He doesn't feel annoyed, but what I think I love most about him is he listens. He doesn't just like, okay, just follow the process and shut up kind of thing. He's like he explains things to me, but he also respects me as a female and the hormones that I have and that I'm dealing with, and he's realistic about it, and he doesn't just say, "Okay, well, you're not dropping and weight's fluctuating, so we're gonna add cardio or we're gonna pull food." He's like, "Okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this," and he listens and he pays attention, and he's just so incredibly knowledgeable and up to date on all of like the newest stuff. And so, he doesn't just stay kind of in one lane. He's very versatile, and I'm so grateful for him. And yeah, he's definitely amazing. I recommend him to everybody if I can.
That's terrific. Yeah, he seems like a really good coach. Should
Oh, he is.
you work with him keep remotely, right? Or virtually
Yep.
or
Yeah,
yeah.
but then I pose with him too. Like we'll do a FaceTime and we'll hit some poses, and he gives me all the feedback. And
Yeah.
mhm.
Isn't he in South Carolina, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. No, that's great. I've heard really good things about him, and he sounds like a just a really good guy in general.
He is. I mean, he's just I'm so lucky for sure. I feel like the stars aligned for me finding him for sure. Because I
That's
was in a place my hormones were all they were all out of whack. I mean, I know my cortisol was probably super high. I had a really round face. I was holding it all in my midsection.
hmm.
I just felt like crap, and, he kind of brought it all together, and I feel great. I mean, obviously, I'm in prep, so I have my days where I'm like, but he
Mhm.
tells me to tell him that too. He's like, "Tell me when you're feeling that way. We're gonna do this," so
Oh, good. Yeah.
I know. I mean, when I say he's amazing, I totally mean it. He really is.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Now, when you said military, are you a military veteran?
I am. Yep.
Oh, wow. Which branch were you in?
Air Force, and then I went into the Guard.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Wow. How long were you in the military?
Let's see, about 8 years total.
Oh, yeah. Oh, terrific. Yeah. I was curious, do you think that that kind of got you the discipline and even
Oh,
like
for sure.
physical fitness for bodybuilding, I would think, so.
Yeah, and I grew up military. My dad was military, so, that's just kind of always that strictness and routine and structure is what I thrive best on, so I think that's why when I found bodybuilding, I just was like, "Alright, this feels like home."
Oh, yeah. I imagine keeping your household in order too, that probably helps, having that military.
Yeah, I mean, we do our best having 5, but, yeah, I'm very, like, I try not to be OCD, but I'm like, "I don't like all this clutter."
Yeah, I got you. No, which can get out of control if you have too many kids, so
I
yeah.
know it, I know it.
Now, I was curious, do you have opposing coach too, or do you work with Corey on that?
So I work with Corey on that. I'll pose by myself. I'm actually going to pose with Sid Gillen
Oh,
this
wow.
month. I know I'm going to do that virtually, and I'm so nervous but so excited because she's just my idol. So,
Oh,
um,
that's
and
perfect.
she's
Yeah.
like the most beautiful, graceful poser I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. I got
yeah,
to meet her at the Triple O last year, and she's just so sweet, and she's, yeah, gorgeous. Yeah.
so beautiful. Oh my gosh, and hilarious. I was at the women's workshop in 2024, and she was on stage and just so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it.
I know it's weird that she's retiring from
I
the
know,
figure. It's kind of, and who's going to take that mantle from her? I mean, it just kind of big shoes to
right.
fill, so yeah.
Yeah, but she'll always be the standard in my eyes, so
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you on that. She's pretty amazing and just a good ambassador for the sport, I think.
oh, for sure, yep.
Yeah. So now that you're deep in prep, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
Lately, it's been with my evening clients, kinda training them just because at that point, I'm, again, not sleeping, and so, I'm just get really exhausted by the end of the day, and
Yeah.
then some days I just feel kinda weak all over, so it's kinda hard to do that, and it's been a struggle these last couple weeks, kinda just being present and all that with everybody, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
reel it back in. When that happens, I try to, like, remind myself, like, "Okay, let's be present here. We've chose this. This is not anybody else's fault," so
Mhm. I understand. Yeah, that would be challenging, I bet, and especially in the
yeah.
evening like that, because
Mhm.
you probably have early mornings too, don't you, to get
Yep,
started?
I get up at 3:45 every day.
Oh my gosh, wow. I guess the military got you ready for that too, maybe.
I guess, and then now it's like, well, I'm up, so if I don't have a morning client, I'll go train myself, and
Wow. Oh my God. Do you get to bed early at least usually?
I try about 8:30, 8 or 8:30.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not too bad. Yeah.
I'll lay with my twins. Usually, I fall asleep in my daughter's bed, and then my husband will wake me up, and then I come back down.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Um, I was curious, in terms of ladies that are listening into the show, like or to the podcast here, what advice would you say for ladies who are looking for a good coach? What should they be looking for?
They need to ask questions for sure. I always tell people, like, if you're searching around, just any question you have about the sport or anything, write it down
Mm,
and, just look for somebody who is knowledgeable and up to date for sure on all of kind of the bodybuilding world. Like, it is about experience, but it's also about reading too and, learning what's out there because there's just so much readily available.
mhm.
Um, and so just kind of making sure that you do your research. Don't just go with like the first, person you hear might sound good. Definitely research and ask some of the athletes too that's with that coach, kind of their experience and what their preps have been like and all that.
Have you ever worked with a female coach?
I have not.
No. Oh, cool. I was curious.
No, my previous coach was a male as well.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was curious about that. I don't know if, I've heard from some ladies there's advantages to having a female coach because they can kind of relate better to
Right.
female issues and stuff.
Right.
But so many of them say it's not really a big deal to work with a guy because you know,
Yeah. I
so.
mean, I don't think I would mind working with a female. I just have found that the male that I worked with before, that's just kind of where it fell with him. And then with this one, I did my research with him and just wanted him.
Oh yeah, no, no. I think there's a lot more male coaches out there too, I would say,
I
than
think so too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know you talked about doing personal training, but have you ever considered doing like full-fledged prep or posing coach business too?
Um, I mean, I've posed with some girls. Um, I wouldn't mind it. I don't know. So, and, I only know figure and some physique. Not, I
Yeah,
mean, I could do bikini if I really kind of researched it, but yeah, I mean, I'm always interested in learning more. There's just so much to learn, so much to know. Like
yeah, yeah.
I want to know it all, and I'll never know it all because there's just so much. But
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I
definitely.
love it. I love the fitness world. I just think I love the human body and what it can do, and it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's kind of like art in a sense. I mean,
It
just
is, and it's just
yeah.
empowering. Bodybuilding is just so empowering, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think it
Hmm.
is. Yeah. I just had a few more questions for you. I was curious, what do you think is like the most misunderstood aspect of bodybuilding by the general public?
Probably that we're all vain, that all we care about is how we look like.
Uh-huh. I got
And it's just not that. It's just so much more. It's about challenging yourself. It's a mental thing. For me, at least, it's all about mental, like knowing that you know, when it really sucked, when I wanted to just say no, and like David Goggins says, I don't stop when I'm done. I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. I
Mhm.
always think of that like on there. I'm like, okay, so I did that. It's like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just a really amazing sport.
Yeah, it is. I've been a fan for a long, long time, and
Yeah.
it is. I admire what y'all do, and I don't think I could do it myself. I'm just a little too lazy.
You probably could.
I'm kind of lazy though. I don't know. But I'll live vicariously through y'all,
Yeah.
with this podcast.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
Yeah. And tell your stories too. So, um, one thing I was curious about, how do you think we can get more people to show up and show out for bodybuilding shows? Because when I go to a pro show in the USA, for instance, the turnout's usually pretty slim and
Yeah,
pretty quiet, but even I think that even more live stream purchases would be great too. But
I
what do
think
you
so
think
too.
in terms of getting more people to come to the shows in person?
I don't know. I mean, live stream would be better. I know that, USA's weren't live streamed, and a lot of people were kind of bummed about that because they wanted to follow along with it.
Oh,
Um,
they weren't live stream? Oh, wow.
no, no, I was surprised by that, especially being USA's, which is a bigger one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think promoting it more and just kind of getting it out there, which is what I think they're trying to do with the fit model division, is
Hmm.
kind of make it more known to the public and not feel
Yeah.
so, you know.
Do you mind that they're doing fit model, or are you cool with that?
I mean, me personally, I have my opinions on it only because, I know that we all work so hard to get to this certain point. And so to get the IFB Pro card takes time and takes it, a different level.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say anything negative about it because I think it's exciting for, the NPC world, but I personally am not a fan, I guess.
I gotcha. I'm
Like
kind of
I wouldn't do it.
I'm not a big fan either, but I kind of see where it's a good maybe entry point to the sport,
Right.
perhaps.
Exactly.
But I thought bikini was a good entry point too. I thought so.
I thought so too. Yeah. I mean, and that's tough. Those girls work hard too, though. The bikini girls,
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Oh, I know they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like fit model girls don't have enough muscle to be considered bodybuilding per se, in my
It's
opinion.
just, I think if you have a good build, you can just get on stage, and then it's like, well, where's the challenge of that? I think that's kind of where my mind goes. Where's the competition there? Like there, I don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha. What do you think about the expense? I mean, since you do have such a big family of going to a bodybuilding show, because I think that's a big problem with getting
Yeah,
attracting people to come is sometimes the cost is so prohibitively expensive.
it is because you have to pay for prejudging and finals, and then typically prejudging is a little bit more, or is it finals? I don't remember, but for us, like that's why we typically don't bring the kids, is because it is expensive.
Yeah.
You have to buy both tickets, and there was one show. I think for USA's, it was exponentially more expensive than all the other local shows. So I
Hmm.
told my parents, I said, listen, if I don't do well at prejudging, just don't even buy the tickets for finals. I'll just go on stage and do my thing, and then we'll be done. And so
Hmm.
then, we just kind of they played it by ear on that. And so whenever I ended up where I ended up on stage, they're like, okay, well now we gotta go buy it.
Oh yeah, they need to get the finals tickets. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the expenses are big for the shows for sure.
Yeah, that's what I found. And sometimes the promoters will carve up, they'll be, I was thinking about like the Tampa Pro Show. I think they're carved up so much, there's maybe like 10 different tickets if you wanted to see everything over the course of 3 days. And
Wow.
it just really adds up. You know, just is way
It
expensive,
does.
so,
Yeah.
which is, yeah, I don't really like that. I think maybe offering more like day passes or weekend passes, I think would be a better way to go, maybe. So,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
don't make them so expensive so you can't fill the house, so,
Right.
yeah. Um, I was curious, have you ever encountered many overbearing fans? I know sometimes fans need to behave and not do any weird shit, so.
Uh, when I get really lean in the summertime, I get all sorts of things. I have men come up to me in Walmart like, "Oh, hey, could you bench press me?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, I can't right now because I'm weak as hell." Or, asking me how much I can bench press or um just all sorts of stuff. Will ask me off the wall things. And I'm like, I had a guy in Vegas. It was after I got off stage. So I'd already eaten some things at this point. So my muscles are popping. And we're walking right by the Bellagio, the fountains.
Oh yeah.
And this gentleman comes up and asks me my shoulder routine. I was like, I don't know. I mean, just normal stuff. And he goes to touch my shoulder. He's like, "Can I?" And goes to touch my arm. And my husband's like, "You want to poke her? You want to?" Then he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and walked away. I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
That's a little weird, huh?
It was so weird. And I got called a freak on Fremont Street. I'm like,
Really?
there was a nun that was half naked over there, and you're gonna call me a freak?
Half
Just such
naked nun.
Oh yeah, on Fremont Street. It was quite odd. But it was just
Fremont does have some kind of crazy folks too, yeah.
yeah. So to be called that, is kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, you get looks, you get stares, you get points, fingers, and I'm not like I don't like to be the center of attention, which is funny that I'm on stage. But
I gotcha.
um, so when people stare at me, I get like really uncomfortable and really self conscious.
Yeah, I understand. What about social media, trolls and stuff like that? Do you ever have to deal with that much or?
No, luckily I don't. Nobody really says anything. Just luckily I haven't had to deal with that yet. But
Okay, good, yeah. You got your pro debut coming up though. They might be like out in the woodwork there.
I'm sure I'll just ignore it. It's like,
Block them, block them. Yeah.
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
Um, well, that's all the questions I had. I was curious if there's anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
No, I mean just my family and my friends and all my clients and my coach. I think we've kind of touched base on all of them. They're all amazing.
That's great. It's good to have that good support network like that for sure.
Oh yeah, like the gym I work at, but well, both the gyms I work at, the owners there are just they're incredible and always encouraging me and just all excited for me and my show. So
That's awesome. Is that the
yeah.
Flex Fitness that you work out mostly, or?
No, I work at Anytime Fitness and another fitness called Elite Total Fitness.
Okay,
Um, two different owners, obviously, and yeah, no, they're pretty awesome. I got lucky for sure.
that's great. Yeah.
Mhm.
And before we started recording, you mentioned you don't have sponsors now, but you're interested in getting sponsors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's great. Yeah. No, and I think that as you kind of build your pro career, I bet you'll probably be more likely to get some too. You know, you're
Yeah,
kind of new to the pro leagues, but
I was super new. Yeah, I'm a
yeah.
baby, like I said. Like,
No, that's awesome. Well, hopefully folks listening in to this, will reach out about potential sponsorship. So that would be nice.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Trisha. It's really nice meeting you.
Thank
And
you. So nice to meet you.
thank you. And as I mentioned, I'll try to get this posted probably tomorrow morning. So I'll tag you and all that good stuff. But best wishes to you, hopefully at Oklahoma. And hope you get good placing there.
Okay.
Ideally winning it would be nice. So that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean that would be, the women are gonna just be outstanding, and I'm just so nervous to stand on stage next to all these women I've looked up to and been inspired by. So I'm like, oh,
Oh, it's so exciting though. I bet, yeah, it's gonna be a thrill for you.
oh yeah, I'm gonna relish in it for sure.
Yeah, no, that's great. And having that cheering section there for you is gonna make it all the difference, I think, too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. Nice meeting you.
Yes, thank you. And nice meeting you too.
Thank you.